You know what separates successful people from everybody else? It ain't talent. It ain't talent. It ain't luck. It's discipline. It's consistency. It's doing the work even when you don't feel like doing it. Let me tell you something. Nobody wakes up every single day fired up. Nobody. That whole idea that successful people are always motivated, that's a lie. Sometimes you wake up and you're tired, you're drained. Life done hit you upside the head and all you want to do is lay back down and say, I'll get to it tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next year. And next year you're still standing in the same spot, wondering why nothing changed. See, dreams don't work unless you do. Goals don't chase you. You gotta chase them. You gotta chase them. And not just when it's in and shiny, but when you're feeling good. Well, you feeling good. You gotta chase your goals in the rain, in the dark, when your heart's broken, when your bank account's on empty, when your back's against the wall and the people around you stop believing. You got to learn how to push past your feelings. You don't feel like working out? Go anyway. You don't feel like building that business? Build anyway. You don't feel like writing, studying, calling, hustling? Do it anyway. Because the work you do on the days you don't feel like it, that's the work that builds champions. Let me tell you a little something about feelings. They're temporary. They shift. They fade. You can't build a future on something that changes every 5 minutes. But discipline is permanent. It's solid. It's what keeps you moving when your feelings tell you to quit. It's what whispers, hey, keep going. When your body is screaming, sit down. Now listen, I ain't saying it's easy. Pushing yourself when you're tired, broke, scared, it's hard. But let me ask you, is staying where you are easier? Is waking up 5 years from now with regret easier? Is looking at your kids, your family, your life, and realizing you never gave it 100%, is that easier? You think working when you're tired is hard? Try regret. That thing will eat at your soul. That thing will haunt you. That's why you have to force yourself to work, not because you feel like it, because your future deserves it. You want to live better? Work. You want to give your children a better life? Work. You want to look in the mirror and be proud of who you see? Work. You want to change your story, your legacy, your bank account, your peace of mind? Then work, and not just when it's convenient. Work when it's uncomfortable. Work when it's boring. Work when it's lonely. Because those moments, that's where greatness is born. Ain't nobody gonna hand you the life you dream about. You gotta fight for it. You got to hustle. You gotta grind. You got to sacrifice some sleep, cut out some distractions, and do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. So next time you say, I don't feel like it, remember this. Your future doesn't care how you feel today. Your destiny is waiting, but it won't wait forever. Get up, show up, and do the work. Even when you don't feel like it, dang success is not some magical force reserved for the chosen few. It's not luck, and it's not just talent. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. That's the truth people don't want to hear. Most folks wait on motivation, thinking one day they're going to feel ready, feel inspired, feel fired up. But let me tell you something. Motivation is not reliable. It's like a mood. It comes and it goes. If you wait for motivation, you're going to be waiting a long time. The people who actually make it, they understand that discipline is what carries you when motivation is gone. You ever wake up and just don't feel like getting out of bed? Of course you have. Everybody has. Now, some people let that feeling win. They hit the snooze button on their dreams. They put off their grind until tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes never. But the people who win, they get up anyway. They move anyway. They show up when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, when it's uncomfortable. Why? Because they've learned that discipline is the real engine behind success. Discipline ain't sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not something people post about with flashing lights and music. But discipline is the quiet force that builds empires. It's what keeps you going when your body is tired, when your mind is doubting, and when your heart's not in it. It's saying, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. That's power. That's control. That's what separates you from the crowd. See, talent might get you in the door. You might have a gift. Maybe you're funny, smart, creative, skilled. But talent without discipline, that's just potential wasted. Discipline is what turns talent into greatness. Discipline is what makes sure you show up every single day and give your best effort, even when your emotions tell you to quit. And let's be honest, your emotions are liars sometimes. They'll tell you that you're not good enough, that you're too tired, that it's too late, that it's not worth it. And if you listen to those emotions, you'll never see what's possible. But if you've got discipline, now you've got something that can't be shaken. You show up tired, you show up scared, you show up frustrated. You show up frustrated, but you still show up. And that's the difference. That's what turns dreams into results. People admire the results, but forget to recognize the discipline behind them. That body someone built, that business they created, that book they finished, it all happened because of consistent effort when no one was watching and when no one was cheering them on. Discipline is quiet. It doesn't beg for attention. It's not loud or flashy, but it's always working, always building. It's the person who gets up at 5 a.m. to work on their dream before the world wakes up. It's the one who says no to distractions because they know what they're chasing is worth more than a moment of comfort. It's the one who falls down but gets back up every time because giving up just ain't an option. You have to decide which life you want. The one that's easy now and hard later, or the one that's tough now but pays off in the long run. Discipline chooses the hard path today so you can live better tomorrow. That means doing the workout when your body says no. That means showing up to work on your goals when you'd rather relax. That means doing what's necessary, not what's easy. You owe it to yourself to stop waiting on motivation and start building discipline. Because discipline is yours. You don't have to be born with it. You create it, one choice at a time. Bet. Every time you choose to do the work, even when you don't feel like it, you're building a stronger version of yourself. And that version, that's the one who gets results. That's the one who walks into success and stays there. Stop looking for the perfect moment to begin. Stop trying to feel your way into action. Start acting your way into feeling. You may not be able to control your emotions, but you can always control your effort. And in the end, that's what changes everything. Feelings are unpredictable. One moment you're fired up, ready to take on the world, and the next, you're drained, frustrated, and thinking about quitting. That's life. That's human. But here's the truth. If you let your feelings make your decisions, you'll never get anywhere meaningful. You'll be up one day and down the next. You'll start things and never finish them. You'll build castles in your mind, but never lay a single brick in the real world. Your feelings can't be trusted to run your life because they're built on comfort, not commitment. Every single day, your feelings will give you a reason to stop. Too tired. Too busy, too overwhelmed, too discouraged. But your future doesn't care how you feel today. Your destiny doesn't wait for the perfect mood. It waits for action, for commitment, for someone who is willing to show up even when they don't feel like it. That's the person who makes it. That's the person who makes it. The truth is, what you feel in the moment often isn't real strength. It's just a moment. You might feel like quitting, but that doesn't mean you should. You might feel like skipping the work, but that doesn't mean it's right. You have to separate your emotions from your vision. You can't build a life on shifting sand. You need a solid foundation. That foundation is built by doing what needs to be done, no matter what your emotions are whispering. See, feelings are like the weather. Some days are sunny, some are cloudy, some bring storms that shake your spirit. But you don't cancel your entire life because of a little rain. You carry an umbrella and keep walking. That's exactly how discipline works. It shields you from the storm of your emotions. It keeps you steady when everything inside of you is telling you to stop. If you're serious about your goals, you have to understand this. Your emotions are not your compass. They don't point to your purpose. They point to your comfort zone. And your comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Your purpose lies outside that zone. It lives in discomfort in early mornings, in late nights, in sweat, in silence, in repetition. It's built in those days when you feel low but still choose to show up. And don't think you're alone. Everyone struggles with this. Even the most successful people in the world don't feel like working every day, but they've trained themselves to keep going regardless. They've built the habit of doing what needs to be done, even when they'd rather be doing anything else. That's not superhuman. That's consistency. When you start ignoring how you feel and start honoring what you said you'd do, everything changes. You stop chasing moods and start chasing results. You stop building on sand and start building on stone. Your mindset shifts from emotional to intentional. That's how real progress is made. You have to ask yourself, do you want to feel good today or do you want to be proud tomorrow? So when the alarm rings and your bed feels warm, when your energy is low and your doubts are high, Remember this. How you feel right now isn't who you are. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're just human. But you've got something greater than feelings. You've got drive. You've got a reason. And that reason is stronger than any excuse. Push through. Show up. Show up. Put in the work. Your feelings may be loud, but your future should be louder. We live in a world that worships comfort. Everything is built for convenience. Fast food, instant entertainment, shortcuts for everything. People are constantly looking for the easiest way out. But here's the raw truth. Comfort is a killer. It may feel good in the moment, but over time, it destroys progress, weakens discipline, and suffocates dreams. The life you want, the goals you have, the future you're trying to build, they don't live in comfort. They live in discomfort, in pain, in sacrifice, in effort. You cannot grow where you're comfortable. It's impossible. Growth requires stretching, and stretching hurts. It pulls you past your limits. It demands more of you. It requires you to give up the easy path and walk through the fire. But that fire, that's where you're forged. That's where your character is shaped. That's where your toughness is built. You don't get strong in the soft places. You get strong when you're tested. And comfort doesn't test you. It spoils you. Think about the people you admire, the ones who made it, the ones who rose above. None of them lived lives of constant comfort. They suffered. They struggled. They were exhausted. They faced doubt. But they kept going. They got up early, stayed up late, worked through pain, ignored distractions, and sacrificed rest. That's the price of greatness. You can't avoid discomfort and expect success to just fall in your lap. It doesn't work like that. Never has, never will. See, comfort is sneaky. It doesn't show up with warning signs. It creeps in quietly. It tells you to take a break, you've done enough. It says, you can do it tomorrow. And then it whispers, this is good enough. But a good enough is not what you were built for. You were made to do more, be more, and rise above. You've got purpose inside you, but comfort will keep it locked up if you let it. There's no achievement without discomfort. That's just the truth. Whether you're trying to get in shape, build a business, save money, break a bad habit, or develop a new skill, none of that comes easy. You will be uncomfortable. You will be tired. You will be stretched. But that's the process. You don't grow through ease, you grow through effort. Through repetition. Through showing up on the days you want to quit. It's in the uncomfortable moments where most people tap out. That's where the gap is created. The one between average and excellent. When things get hard, most people stop. But if you can stay in it, stay committed, keep pushing even when it hurts, then you're already ahead of most. Because comfort might feel good now, but it steals your future. Discomfort feels rough now, but it pays you back in strength and growth and fulfillment. You've got to train yourself to be okay with being uncomfortable. The gym doesn't feel good, but it builds your body. Studying doesn't feel fun, but it builds your mind. Waking up early doesn't feel natural, but it builds your discipline. Every uncomfortable choice is a building block for a better you. Each time you choose a hard thing over the easy thing, you grow, you level up, you become more. And the more you embrace discomfort, the stronger you become. It doesn't get easier, you get tougher. You start to realize that pain isn't punishment. It's part of the path. Struggle isn't the enemy. It's the proving ground. You start to understand that every time you leave the comfort zone, you get one step closer to the person you were meant to be. So the next time comfort comes calling, trying to pull you back into the easy life, remember what it costs. Remember the dreams you have. Remember what's at stake. Your destiny is not waiting in the comfort zone. It's waiting on the other side of sacrifice, on the other side of exhaustion, on the other side of hard work, discipline, and relentless effort. Comfort may give you relief today, but discomfort will reward you tomorrow. Choose wisely, because your future is not built by what feels good. It's built by what's necessary. And what's necessary is rarely easy, but it is always worth it. There's a kind of pain most people don't talk about. It's not the pain of hard work. It's not the pain of early mornings or late nights. It's not the pain of failure or rejection. It's the pain of regret. That quiet, haunting feeling that creeps up on you when you realize you had a chance and you didn't take it. When you look back at something you could have done, should have done, but didn't. That pain doesn't go away. It sticks. It settles in your mind and whispers, what if? And the worst part is, once you've missed that moment, you can't get it back. See, working hard is tough. Showing up when you don't feel like it is tough. Staying focused while others are distracted is tough. But do you know what's even tougher? Sitting in the same place 5 years from now, Knowing you didn't give your best, knowing that you let excuses win, knowing that comfort, laziness, and fear cost you your future. That's a pain that doesn't fade with time. It grows. Regret is sneaky. You don't always feel it right away. You might skip one workout, miss one opportunity, put off one idea. You think it's no big deal. You'll get to it later. But later turns into never, and before you know it, you're stuck with a pile of unfinished goals and wasted potential. And that's when it hits you. That moment of reflection, when you realize you didn't fail because you weren't capable. You failed because you didn't push yourself when it mattered. The truth is, the price of discipline is nothing compared to the cost of regret. Working hard is temporary. The soreness fades. The fatigue disappears. But regret lingers. It replays over and over in your mind. You start wondering what could have happened if you'd just been a little more consistent, a little more focused, a little more driven. You think choosing comfort is easier. It's not. It just delays the pain. You can suffer now through growth, or you can suffer later through regret. But either way, there's a cost. So why not pay the price that gives you something in return? Why not choose the kind of pain that builds you up instead of breaks you down? When you're tired, when you're unmotivated, when everything inside you is telling you to quit, remember what's at stake. Remind yourself that pushing through today saves you from questioning yourself tomorrow. Discipline is hard, but it gives back. Regret is empty. It takes and never returns anything. That's why you've got to fight for your future now. You've got to show up when you don't feel like it. Do the work no one sees. Make the sacrifices no one applauds. Because every time you do, you're not just building success, you're avoiding regret. You're creating a life you can look back on with pride instead of pain. Don't let temporary comfort rob you of permanent fulfillment. One day you're going to look in the mirror and either say, I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. That's the line. That's the difference. Make the choices today that your future self will thank you for. Let your actions today silence your regrets tomorrow. Every goal you have, every dream you carry inside you requires one thing above all: consistent, intentional action. Not talk, not ideas, not even passion, just doing the work. You can have the most beautiful vision in your head, but if you're not putting in the effort every day, that vision will remain nothing more than a wish. The truth is, your future doesn't care how many excuses you have. It doesn't care how tired you are, how busy life is, or how hard things have been. Your future only responds to what you're doing right now. Success doesn't come from emotion. It comes from execution. You can cry about how much you want something. You can feel inspired after watching a video or reading a quote. But none of that matters if you're not getting up and doing what needs to be done. Life rewards action. Every excuse you make, no matter how valid it feels, is another step away from the life you say you want. The world doesn't owe you anything. You either put in the work or you don't. And if you don't, the results won't come. It's that simple. We all face obstacles. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has moments of doubt. But the people who win are the ones who act anyway. They don't wait for perfect conditions or magical feelings. They understand that progress happens through imperfect action. They do the work even when it's boring. They show up even when they're not in the mood. That's what separates the successful from the average. It's not about always feeling ready. It's about being committed no matter what. Think about it. Have you ever seen someone succeed by accident? No. People succeed because they make a decision and then back it up with relentless effort. They take full responsibility for their future. They stop blaming their past, their environment, or other people. They stop waiting for a sign. They become their own sign. That's how you win in life. Not by hoping, not by complaining, but by doing what's necessary over and over again, especially when no one's watching. You don't need the perfect moment to begin. You don't need everything to line up just right. You just need to start right where you are, with what you have, even if it's messy, even if it's hard. The sooner you stop stalling and start building, the sooner you'll start seeing change. Real growth doesn't come from planning and preparing forever. It comes from stepping into the arena and doing the work, day in and day out. Your results will always reflect your effort. If you half try, you'll get half results. If you go all in, you'll start seeing breakthroughs. The world doesn't reward intention, it rewards execution. So if you're serious about your future, it's time to start backing up your dreams with real action. Show up when it's uncomfortable. Keep moving when you're discouraged. Do the hard things when no one claps for you. That's where success is built in silence through consistency. No more waiting. No more delays. The time is now. Your future is not promised. And the longer you put things off, the more time you waste. Don't give away your power by hesitating. Use every day as an opportunity to get closer to the life you want. Grind now, shine later. The world may not see your work today, but soon they won't be able to ignore your results. Greatness is not built in the spotlight. It's built in the dark, in the quiet, in the lonely hours when nobody's watching and there's no applause. It's built when you show up early, stay late, and do the work that no one else wants to do. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants the rewards. But not everyone is willing to go through the process. And that process, it's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's repetitive, demanding, and often uncomfortable. But that's where champions are created, in the shadows when no one's clapping, and your only cheerleader is your own determination. There's a part of the journey that people don't post about. They don't talk about the nights spent studying when their friends were out partying. They don't talk about the mornings they dragged themselves out of bed before the sun came up. They don't mention the sacrifices, the missed birthdays, the ignored distractions, the countless times they said no to comfort, because greatness is forged in silence. The real work happens behind the scenes, in the unseen effort, the uncelebrated grind. Most people want to be seen winning, but don't want to put in the time when nobody's looking. They want the highlight reel without the behind-the-scenes footage. But life doesn't work like that. You have to pay your dues when it's lonely, when it's boring, when it feels like no progress is being made, and that's the test. That's the point where most people quit, because it's not fun, it's not exciting, it's just hard work over and over again without instant results. But if you can learn to fall in love with that part, the process, the grind, the silence, you will become unstoppable. When you understand that every repetition, every early morning, every small effort is building something greater, you'll stop needing validation. You'll stop needing the world to notice, because you'll know deep down that you're preparing yourself for something bigger. Real success is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It builds slowly, day by day, until one day the world looks up and says, "Where did this come from?" But you'll know. You'll remember the days you showed up when you didn't feel like it, the nights you kept going when you were exhausted, the times you kept pushing when no one believed in you. That's what greatness is made of. Consistency without recognition. The truth is, the more you're willing to work in silence, the louder your results will speak. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your actions will do that for you. You just need to stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay committed. The world will catch up. The people who once doubted you will start asking how you did it. But by then, you'll be too busy working on the next level to even notice. So if you're in that quiet season right now, where it feels like nothing is moving, where no one's noticing your effort, where you're tired and unsure, keep going. That's the foundation. That's the training ground. You are being shaped into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were yesterday. Don't underestimate the value of the unseen work. It's not wasted. It's necessary. You don't have to post every step you take. You don't need to announce every move you make. Let your growth be private. Let your hustle be humble. And let your results be loud, because when it's time, when you've truly earned it, the world won't be able to ignore what you've built in the dark. The spotlight comes eventually, but you have to be ready for it. And the only way to be ready is to do the work when it's just you, your dream, and your discipline. No audience, no recognition, just raw effort and belief in what's possible. That's how greatness is built, not overnight, not with noise, but with quiet, steady, unshakable work that no one sees, until the results speak louder than words ever could.